To an outsider, Flushing, Queens is a close replica of a small Chinese city. Certainly, having passed City Field and crossed Flushing Creek, there is a noticeable shift. Suddenly, every sign is in Chinese, some lacking any English translation, with a smattering of Korean and Vietnamese here and there. Even before the COVID-19 pandemic began, the sidewalks were crowded with outdoor stalls hawking produce like durian and freshly made pork dumplings. Flushing is well known as a center for Asian immigrants. According to the 1980 census, the area's population was 68% white and 12% Asian. Since then, the percentage of Asian residents has risen to nearly 70%, with the majority being immigrants from mainland China. Though most have come from the southern part of China, where Cantonese is the predominant language spoken, the early 2010s brought a rise in Mandarin-speaking immigrants from the north, differentiating Flushing from other Chinatowns across the country. Peter Chung is the director of the Nan Shan Senior Center near the heart of Flushing. The center's 16,000 registered members reflect the diversity of the broader community.
So Nan Shan was developed back in 1977, and at that time Nan Shan was the first senior center really serving the growing Chinese American community in Flushing. And because of that tradition, the vast majority of our members are Chinese Americans. But however, even though most of them are Chinese Americans, there's a great variety among them. So even within Nan Shan, we have Fujianese, we have Cantonese, we have Taiwanese, we have people from Sichuan, we have people from the Northeast, we have people from Shandong, from Shanghai, and they speak different dialects. And also, even though they're ethnic Chinese, they may come from Indonesia, they may come from Malaysia, they may come from like Macau, Hong Kong, China, Taiwan, and there's also a number that come from Venezuela, from South America.
Nan Shan is one of many programs within the Chinese American Planning Council. Founded in 1965, CPC is the nation's largest Asian American social services organization, serving 60,000 individuals and families. With 35 sites across Manhattan, Brooklyn, and Queens, the Council empowers Asian American, immigrant, and low-income communities in New York City by ensuring they have equitable access to the resources and opportunities needed to thrive.
Improve the quality of life for the seniors. It's important for seniors to be able to look back onto their lives and to find a sense of integration and to find a sense of meaning in their lives.
Pre-pandemic, Mr. Chung would see 300 to 400 visitors to the Nan Shan Center daily, and nearly 4,000 annually. However, the center has been closed since early March of 2020 and plans to reopen for the first time in mid-2021.
I feel that people sometimes they think why would I be interested in serving seniors? And I always feel that for a lot of the seniors in Flushing, they come here when a lot of them they came here when they were old already. I understand it's not a easy process to go through, and I always would like to help in a way. I was born in Vietnam during the war. I came to America as a refugee, and in my life I had a lot of struggle. So I always be able to empathize with other people because I've gone through it. And when I look at the seniors in Nan Shan, when I look at their faces, I see my father, I see my mother, and I also see myself.
This is the story of senior citizens who embarked on a journey to arrive in America as adults. Through their own mistakes and experiences, they learn to become better people and in turn lead better lives. This is the legacy of Nan Shan.
My name is Carmen Young. I was born in Hong Kong.
My name is Tenacious. I was born in China, Taiwan.
我姓马，马荣成，我的名字。
Carmen Young came to the U.S. on June 28, 1967, when she was 18 years old. She described her departure as a grand event.
I was very excited to immigrate to America at that time, and it was like a big deal to go to a foreign country. And I still remember when I was in the airport taking the flight, I have all my friends, family came to see me off. It was a big event at that time.
Came out, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was wearing a cheongsam, very formal, I wouldn't say custom, dress, Chinese dress.
Since she had not completed high school in Hong Kong, Miss Young began attending Washington Irving High School in Manhattan.
They didn't want to put me there because I was too old to go to day school, but I begged them, so they gave me a chance. So I studied 2 years high school there, and I finished with honors. So I mean, I was doing very hard. And then after school, I went to work for my sister's factory as a seamstress. So life was a bit tough, and but I was young. That was my greatest asset, and I believe tomorrow will be better. So I tried very hard to finish high school and then go to college. I saved a lot of money to study for, actually only 1 semester. I drained out of my money, so I had to come back to work.
Jeanette Chu from Taishan, in southern Guangdong province, also immigrated to the U.S. as a high schooler. However, her emigration process was delayed following the start of the Chinese Cultural Revolution, spearheaded by communist leader Mao Zedong in the mid-1960s.
Oh, we were detained. My father was born here. He went back to China to get married, and he stayed there until communist. So he come back to U.S. But communists will not let him bring the family. So we stayed put until I guess we went to Hong Kong. My mother and me. And take a long time, but we get here when I was 15.
Ms. Chu had difficulty learning English at the start of her time at Theodore Roosevelt High School in Manhattan.
So me and my friend, we think, so what we do is that we don't speak Chinese among us, so we can practice English, and we watch TV. And we have, I think, English as a second language class.
But this did not prevent her from continuing Chinese customs in America.
It's like a tradition. We have Moon West Festival. In fact, my American-born sister, in April we go to the ancestors' graves to visit them. So she still burn the paper money, paper houses, paper clothes. That's one of the customs.
Since Flushing's establishment in 1650 as a community of Quakers fleeing religious persecution in England, the area has been recognized for its preservation of religious diversity and freedom. Ms. Chu was referring to the centuries-old Chinese practice of burning joss paper, made from bamboo or rice paper, to ensure prosperity for deceased relatives and ancestors in the afterlife. It draws from Buddhist, Taoist, and regional folklore. This ritual is normally performed during the Qingming festival in early April, during which people visit and clean their ancestors' graves. For those like Ms. Chu, with many familial graves located across the world, the practice is replicated in groups or in the privacy of one's own home. One of the most commonly practiced religions in Flushing is Christianity. Ma Rongcheng, whose family is from northeastern China, immigrated from Taiwan nearly 30 years ago, when she was in her late 40s. The Catholic Church has remained a central part of her life.
因为我的先生他有第三者，他要跟他结婚，我同意成全他，所以我跟他离婚。离婚以后，我的家人，我的父母兄弟姐妹都在美国，所以他们要我过来美国，因为我如果离婚以后，我在台湾只有一个人带孩子，所以我提早退休到美国来，跟我的家人在一起生活。然后到教堂，一个老神父张神父，我就哭哭啼啼跟他讲，神父说天主会给你一条路，真的，天主会给你一条路，他不会不管你的，因为像就是说天主总是爱什么嘛，反正跟我讲很多。
But for others, finding solace in religion has not been as straightforward.
I had Bible study at one time, and then let's say I'm still lost in religions because there's so many different ones, and then it's it's hard to pick, and then you don't know if you pick the wrong one. And my sister was smart. She has the picture of Jesus, the Buddha, and so she didn't miss any.
However, Ms. Young found purpose in her career as a paralegal for an immigration lawyer, helping foreigners secure permanent residency in the U.S.
And it's a very interesting job because I deal with all walks of life. And people came to this country, they were seeking for a better future for them, for their children. So in helping them, I was like doing them a big favor. When they get their green card, it was very satisfactory feeling after you accomplish and help them to get their residency here. So I love my job.
Due to the nature of her job and what she described as luck, Ms. Young reported that, in her opinion, she had experienced very few instances of racism during her time in America. She expressed her surprise when her children had a different experience.
They said they were called chink in school. So I said, how come they do that? Because we had no problem. Well, I went to high school, mostly Chinese. It's, Washington Irving High School is close to Chinatown. So maybe that's the reason they don't call me names. And then when I look around these days, I couldn't I couldn't understand why people treat us differently, because it never dawned on me that I'm different than them. We're all American. That's how I feel.
While Ms. Ma did not touch on her experiences with racism, she's had her own difficulties and regrets regarding interactions with non-Chinese people.
最大的困难就是语言不通嘛，这是最大的困难。你跟圈子只有在中国人的这个圈子里面活动，那个不能说外国人，因为我现在也是美国公民，就是跟讲英文的没有办法融洽在一起。所以虽然已经在美国30年，也是公民的身份，可是跟真正讲英文的美国人，就是外国人，还是不能够打成一片，这是我比较遗憾。这一次疫情当中，这1年，我有一点顾虑的就是，如果我生病，我到医院去，我的语言不通，会遇到一些困难。有时候你有什么，你不见得旁边有人翻译，因为遇到什么事，比如现在仇视亚裔的事情在路上，万一我坐巴士被攻击， 希望旁边有人。
However, though she can't speak for people approaching her, Ms. Ma says that her work in Taiwan as a teacher for deaf, mute, and blind children positively influenced her own interactions with others.
我的工作怎么讲？需要有耐心。以前我个性很强，很急，因为我东北人。可是进到这个工作以后，我面对的学生是特殊的，不容易沟通的，所以我变得很有忍耐力。怎么讲？也比较会为对方着想。
If Ms. Ma had wanted to continue teaching in the U.S., she would have had to prepare for a specialized bilingual teacher exam in order for her license to carry over. Ms. Chu's husband faced a similar issue.
But in America, you really have to have experience and your education to back you up if you want to go up, be promoted. But I can tell you my husband have electrical engineering in Taiwan, but it's not recognized by America. Yeah, so I think his friends, they passed the exam, but his English is not that good, so his career is not really going anywhere. So.
Yet all three women expressed very few regrets at their decision to come to America.
No, I have no regret. I'm glad that I was given a chance to come here. I mean, life could be different if I stay behind, still in Hong Kong. But you don't look back, you look forward. So in this country, I encounter a lot. I mean, I had a miserable marriage, my own personal life, but I survived. I took care of my two children. I make my ends meet. I even offered them a comfortable life, and they went to college with no difficulty. And I think, in my own measure, within my own measure, I think I'm pretty successful.
我很幸运说能够来到美国，第一个跟我家人团聚啊，第二个生活有保障，第三个美国的社会毕竟比较水准高一点啊。你年轻的时候，你辛苦，你交税，你服务这个社会，但是你老了以后，政府照顾你，你就很安心的养老。
In China, life is tough. Here, you have all the convenience. In China, you have to pay for your education. A lot of people didn't have a chance to go to elementary school. College is free. City college is free. I went to NYU for my master, and they gave me money to go to NYU. So it's really a privilege. I think the best thing is that it's equal, man and woman, you can, but it's not really equal, but it's still you have a freedom.
Ms. Young, Ms. Chu, and Ms. Ma have all retired, or at least partly.
Even when after I retire, I still work 1 day a week because I have a lot of clients came to me. And the reason was not just because of my experience, because I was very honest with them. And if I could help them, I would tell them. I wouldn't take the case if I didn't think that they could do it.
最近这10年多、11年，不是10几年，我一直在老人会啊，或者一些社团做义工，所以我觉得生活得很充实，很高兴。
I think I have done, to the best of my ability to help people. And it's a joy helping people and see that they got what they deserve or they want to accomplish. And after my retirement, I also want to continue to help people.
First of all, a lot of times they are the, within the family, they are the ones who taking care of the children, the grandchildren. and so that the parents, can go to work without worry. They're the ones, pick up the grandchildren. They're the ones who cook the dinner for the family, and also they have a wealth of experience they can share with other people. And when I spoke with the members in Nan Shan, I always amazed me, about their past history, about what they have done in the past. And there's so many hidden talents, so many stories, just within this senior center.
From their struggles and experiences, Ms. Ma and Ms. Young have developed admirable attitudes towards their lives. They were kind enough to share these with us.
Yeah.
也许人家看我觉得说，要住老人公寓是又没有钱，又没有车子，又没有房子，又没有。可是我觉得过得很好，对不对？老人公寓住得很舒服，每个月固定的收入够我生活。那你还要求什么？有住有吃不愁了吗？那你还要求什么？
Actually, I'm a very positive person. All my friends, they told me I'm very positive, because if they come to me for any problem, I always help them to solve it. Not because I know everything, I don't really know, but I try to look for the answer. Well, because I had a very bad marriage. I had a miserable, because my ex was a compulsive gambler. It was like a challenge for me. So at the end of the tunnel, I saw light. So I don't want to give up. I can only compensate with playing the role of father and mother. So I was the father and mother and breadwinner, housekeeper, and teacher. So it was tough. Life was tough. And it made me more appreciative of the life that I have now, because it was bitter life and now it's good life.
Ms. Young, Ms. Chu, and Ms. Ma's stories are incredibly inspiring and significant. They are reflective of the perseverance of Flushing's community, one that began with a protest against religious persecution in the 17th century, and one that continues to face race and class-based discrimination and hatred to this day. These women, and the many other young, old, and in-between residents of the area, contribute meaningfully to its vitality and well-being despite any challenges they face.
In the future, well, be peaceful and healthy because of my age, and I just enjoy every bit of good health that I have. And I don't cry about things. I take things easy, and I take pride in what I'm doing, and I get pleasure if I help people.
Maybe we can take our own lessons from their words.
I think they contribute to the richness of the community, and just by themselves, by their stories, by what they are themselves. It's it's an integral, fabric of Flushing, and I'm just so happy that I'm able to meet with a lot of them.